Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to a new episode of T20E World. Hugo here. Today, I am going to deliver 6 keys to sales success. Now, in the world of sales, in my career, I have learned hundreds, if not thousands of techniques within the world of sales, but I wanted to keep everything extremely simple. And I dissected my whole career of sales, and I brought it down to 6 points I thought are imperative to make you successful in the world of sales. And I'm going to share them with you, and I'm going to talk about each bullet, and hopefully with these, it'll create a cycle, the cycle within the world of sales. Well, number 1, it all begins with prospecting. All right, first and foremost, do your homework, right? What's my product and my services, and who are the right targets and buyers within the products and services that I'm selling? You got to understand your message and how you're going to deliver it, okay? In this digital world that we live in, understand, how do I blend my prospecting? Telephone, emails, social media platforms. You got to find a good combination. Old school is the telephony part of it, right? In the middle, you'll find the emails. In today's world, it's all digital. So get a blend of all 3 of those worlds. Put them together. Become an expert within that field. I often talk about this, right? Use LinkedIn. Content is key. Remember that. So it is critical for you to share, good information of some of the products and services that you offer. Again, I'm going to go back to repeating it to content is key. What happens? As often as you share within LinkedIn and different platforms in social media, you become to be known within that space. And eventually you'll become the expert or go-to individual, okay? Constantly plan, do, check, plan. I always talk about that. What is working and what is not working? If you find out that something just isn't working, that's okay. Tweak it and implement it again, okay? Remember, the goal when you're prospecting, don't forget, it's all about delivering your honest message and values to a potential customer. It is very important, right? And keep this in mind too. If they're not interested, that's okay, because you're going to get a lot of no's. That's just reality in the world of sales. So just say thank you and just please move on, okay? Creativity is going to be key in prospecting. So those little bullets under prospecting are critical for you to understand that. Re-listen to this piece because you're going to need to understand these 6 bullets in all its subcategories. Number 2, establishing trust and good rapport. This is everything within the world of sales, right? All right, you've become an expert in your field. You're always prospecting. How do I establish trust? Well, it starts with just finding a common ground with your customer, your potential customer, okay? And you know what I found that really works great? Remembering the little things. I'm serious, as silly as this sounds, remembering the person's dog's name goes a long way. Maybe a hobby they have or sports of interest. Maybe their children are playing soccer. Who knows? But these are the little things that establish the foundations of trust and good rapport. So keep that in mind. Another important little nitbit of advice is to always be listening. I always say the art of listening, right? Listen, 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 and ask questions. Think about it. The more you listen, the better your questions are going to become. Okay? And always, and this is your job here, is always work on establishing that warm environment. Okay, there's a lot of techniques in doing so. We talk about them in other podcasts, right? Body language is one of them. So it's important for you to consistently work on this. And you know what? If you're not sure about the body language, well, you know what? Smile. Be you. I always talk about that. Be you. Be genuine and be honest. It goes a long way. Point number 3, identify your customer's needs. Probing, okay? Remember, You're there, you're searching for what I call pain points. Okay. You're trying to identify areas of where you may be able to share the value, bring your knowledge. So find out what is important to your customers. Okay. When you're identifying customer needs, very critical here. Remember this one: know what you can do, know what you cannot do. And when you're not sure, be honest, but make sure you follow through. Make sure you get back to them after you find out what the answer is. It goes a long way. These are just some, again, tidbits of advice under identifying your customers' needs. Number 4, a lot of people don't like this one, but it's part of the whole cycle of sales. Presenting. What I have to say is practice, practice, and practice, especially as we now are getting back into the world of norm. I know many of us have been behind a computer doing a lot of virtual presenting. Eventually, you're going to have to get out in front of crowds. So please practice, practice, practice. And remember, a good presenter who knows their subject is a good persuader, critical in the world of sales. So know your subject. And remember, don't be cocky, be confident. Big difference between confident about what you're speaking about and being cocky. Answer objectives. Now, here's the beauty. When you understand your area of expertise, you understand the products or the services you're offering, it's normally pretty easy to answer objections, answer questions, and if you're not sure, that's okay too. That's okay, because you'll find out the answer and you're going to get back to them. Okay. But always follow through just after the presentation, meaning don't wait 2 weeks, 3 weeks to get back to your audience. I'm talking like in the day, in the afternoon, send a thank you follow-up message, and maybe in a day, within 2 days, make sure you follow through on all those action items that came out of that meeting. Number 5, closing the sale. Listen, one of my most famous quotes in the world comes from an athlete, Wayne Gretzky. All right. For those that don't know Wayne Gretzky, well, he played hockey. Yeah, that puck hurts. But listen to this one. You miss 100% of the shots you never take. I'm going to repeat it. You miss 100% of the shots you never take. Man, that is deep. In the world of sales, what does that mean? If you don't ask, you're not going to get. Sometimes you need to ask for the purchase order. Okay. Sometimes that customer is on the edge and they just need that little push. One of 2 things will happen. 1, hopefully you'll get that purchase order. If not, number 2, you're going to identify something that still is missing to get that PO. So I go back to closing the sale. Don't be afraid to ask. And remember, you will always miss 100% of the shots you just don't take. And that goes for anything in life. All right. So here we go. Finally, the 6th point, and this is what wraps up and creates the cycle, right? I talked about the cycle from it starts with prospecting and then it's going to loop back around, and it's called resales and referrals. So through this process, you have worked hard on establishing trust and great rapport. Now, reality is, in the years, as time goes on, these customers, as you win them over one and creating, rapport and trust, and you become an expert in the area, the reality is many of them become friends. Geez, some of them become great friends. I mean, I guarantee you in your career, you will have some people at your barbecues. It's just the way it works, man. You guys share a lot of stuff in common, more so with others than some, but they can be your best salespeople. Make your best customers your best salespeople. Ask for referrals. Don't be afraid of that. That's how you get, not only new accounts, but they come from a good source. And if a good source is saying you're going to want to speak to this gentleman or lady, you know what? Phenomenal for you. That's how it all begins, right? You can start seeing the cycle of sales. Again, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of components in the world of sales that make people successful. I thought hard and long, and I've dissected this area. I broke this out to those 6 key bullets. Prospecting, establishing trust and rapport, identifying customer needs, presenting, closing the sale, resales and referrals. My friends, if you have questions, feel free to shoot us an email, info@T20eWorld.com. I would love to answer sales questions. Keep showing us the love. 5-star ratings, please, in podcast on Apple Podcast. I'm sorry if you are a platform user for Apple Podcast, please go there, rate us 5 stars, and show some love, man. T-shirts at our store. Again, 6 keys to sales success. I hope you got a lot out of this. Ask questions. I love to answer them. And this is Hugo, and I am checking out.